There we go. Well, one quad medium kick and I die. Like seriously, I'm so lost in this matchup specifically. Oh man. He's like, oh yeah, that move is safe. Better do something to make it unsafe. No, no, it's okay. Got him. Got him. Ah! No! Oh, let's go. I got a loyal fan. No. And that's it. No, actually, I'm still alive. Yeah, for Battle Hub, but that does not matter. He was terrified of me.
That's a fucking joke. I'm not gonna look! He knows I'm gonna jab to bait it, so he does one after. Do you know what I mean? Jimmy's not good at this game. He's not good at Street Fighter. He's a fucking scrub, bro. Fucking winds me up. I can't play this guy seriously. I can't take him seriously. But you know what's happening? I'm not mashing against him. Because I'm trying to fucking play. Fucking scrub. Then winds me up, bro. He winds me up. He's not a fucking player, bro. He's a YOLO little fucking piece of shit.
No CPT today, no. Next week.
Shows at 5. He knows. He must listen to me, bro. He must listen to me, man. He must listen to me, bro. I'm at again, for fuck's sake. This fucking dude, bro. The fucking scrub. That's his back because he knows I'm going to wait for a fucking match. Fucking scumbag. Fucking game winds me up. Fucking shit to me. Always the fucking shit. Fucking scrub! This guy's not good at the game. You try and play with him, he plays like a scrub. He's not good. He's not fucking good at this game. He's been beating bums, bro. Being beaten bums.
Those EXT
when Street Fighter 6 comes out, I'm gonna beat you 10-0 again. You know that. I'm gonna fucking ruin you. Bro, you fucking scrub.
Will forever be my nemesis in 5.
Jesus, bro. I'm trying to play the game here. I might as well just play like a YOLO bomb against you, Jimmy. Fucking hell, this guy's turd, bro. Round 1. Fucking turd, man. Fight.
That's fine. Was denkst du über C-Viper? Ja, sieht interessant aus. Auf jeden Fall sehr ähnlich wie die Street Fighter 4 Version. Das hätte ich auch nicht gedacht. Okay, that's the most unfortunate drop that I've seen in a while. this McDonald's color? Yes, this is McDonald's Wi-Fi color. If you play on Wi-Fi and everybody complains about you, you automatically unlock this color. You see the freeze right there? It was the McDonald's Wi-Fi freeze. This is gonna be extremely difficult to do. You can go for the full thing, by the way. Okay, that was 4. No! 7. I got 7 again. Ah, God. No! I swear to God, number 8 is faster than the rest. Maybe I'm going crazy, but I feel like the number 8 is faster than the rest. Oh! Oh my God, I got the full thing. And I told you guys, hit number 8 trolls you because it's actually way faster than the rest. Holy shit. This is difficult, Jesus. How long did that take me? That took me like, what, 2 hours to get once? How do I escape this? He actually clipped me there. Good DP. Maybe I could have killed if I had burned myself out. Oh! He's dead. Never mind. Shinakuma. Let's see how hard he's gonna kick my ass. Because I forgot how difficult this one is. We're gonna play the fireball game against him. Of course he gets free double fireballs in the air. I should not be challenging with fireballs, right? Oh, we got a knockdown. Let's go. Oh, he's called the true Kuma. Do you see how fast this is? Wow, I can react to it, even though I'm almost full screen away. Oh my god, okay. I should not be playing the fireball game against this.
Game over.
Okay, that's bad. Okay. So, yeah, plus, right? Okay, we got the jump in. Gonna grab him here. Of course you can just jump out of it like that. Okay, again, okay, we're just gonna jump in until we win. He has full invincibility on that teleport. It's unbelievable. Still alive. Still alive. Still alive. I'm completely stuck in the corner right now. I can't do anything. What do I even do? I swear to God, he's gonna time me out like that. Oh my god, did you just see the grab range? What am I even supposed to do there? He can't, like, I was locked in the corner. Oh man. No. Oh my god. Can I impersonate Mize level 1? What does that mean? Can I create fire out of my ass? I certainly can't. That does not make any mistakes. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. I really hope you're having a fantastic what is it, Monday? Yeah, it is Monday. So there we go. A little bit of an early stream. This should be my normal stream time, by the way. This is not really an early stream, but yeah, actually it turns out I'm doing this early stream because I need to stop early as well. So sorry about that, but no long stream today. It's an on-time stream, right? But I have to stop early, so we didn't really gain very much. Sorry about that. In any case, good to see you all. Let me see. We have Presidita, of course. Dan Castle, what's up, my man? John Smith, how's it going? Been years since I last caught a stream, Jimmy. Glad I did today. Well, good to see you back, my man. Ravage Flame, Soundstorm, Teapot, good to see you. Crown, how's it going? Gear of TC, what's up, my man? Raul, good to see you, my man. A real early start to your stream today, making up for the non-Sunday stream. I really wish I could say that, but no. I think in the future I can make that happen, though. Like, I really want to, like, get the stream time back up, and I'm working a lot to make that happen. And the number one thing for me to make that really work is my mental and physical health, you know? I've been trying to work out more. I've been trying to, well, get better sleep and everything. Get a proper flow for, well, real life. And I hope as a result I can do longer streams as well. We'll see about that. Monday is never a good day. Black Venom, I'm not fasting, no. Maybe I'll do the last day.
Here comes a new challenger.
Sometimes I do the last day, but it's been a long time since I've done that. Redlined, good to see you. Vismotrix, good morning.
Round one. Fight.
We did the Sunday buffet. The Sunday buffet on the sundown buffet on Saturday. Was that good? Doing slight delay, so if I do reversal timing, it'll actually work out. Oh wait, I could have killed. Oh, my bad. I just realized this final round. When did I win a round? Oh, he's not dead? Yo, Abdullah Khalid, what's up? Unga Bunga Lariat. Yep, this is my nemesis. Okay. That's a feels bad man moment right there. Stop drinking. You mistimed it. Use motion blur. I think I have it active. I think I tested it for a while. There's a cheater in ranked. Who, you? Oh wow, okay. And Ed. Mais non! I did a grab.
Round 2. Fight.
Rose Red Fishy was not cheating. Rose Red Fishy was just somebody with a lot of skill pretending to be a woman for views. So there's a difference, you know? How you do back hard punch into DP on leverless? So I hold back and do the hard punch. Then I let go of back. I start holding forward. And then I do back down punch. This might seem really awkward. But I found this to be... Actually, no, never mind. I only do it that way. No. If I do the DP, I actually use multiple shortcuts for back fierce into DP, depending on the scenario. But yeah, I will actually do the motion that I just described. I'll show you in training mode, okay? Okay, so... Yeah. so in order to do this, I legit just hold that back hard punch. Yeah. So if you hold forward and then you tap back down punch, you get a DP, and that's because you're holding forward first, and then the moment you press back, you get neutral. Then you start pressing down on top, so you press all three, you get a down input because left and right get canceled out, and then because you're pianoing over the buttons, you let go of the back input first, and then you get a down forward motion, and then you let go of down, and then you get a forward motion. So overall, if you hold forward and then you piano over back and then down, you get a quarter circle forward motion. And because of that, you get a DP. So that's actually how I do it. And this is specifically in order to do a level 3 afterwards consistently. Technically, it would be easier to do back fierce into like mash down and forward. I guess that will work. Nah, you'll get accidental super if you do that. I actually recommend doing the motion the way I said. Back fierce, let go of back, start holding forward, tap back down punch. If you want something easier than that, by the way, you could do another motion. Let me see. Nah, it's a bit complicated to do it like that. Nah, I think this is the way to go. Like, maybe it's because I have a lot of practice with the motion, but back fierce, like the back fierce motion, the way I said, that's how I do it. Not revert changes, no. Wait, I did revert change. What does revert changes do? Found. I'm so sorry for the ads, but it'd be like that sometimes, you know? The problem with that motion, Nick, is that you cannot follow up with a super easily afterwards. This is why I dislike the motion. You know, I think in a lot of cases, especially when you're doing back fierce into DP, you want to have the option to do a level 3 afterwards. And the easiest way to do that is by having a DP motion that incorporates a quarter circle forward. Raw1780, my man, thank you so much for the 37 months. I really appreciate it. Hope you're doing great, my man. YouTube is surprisingly quiet right now. What's going on with YouTube chat right now? Okay. Okay. Rigbo, good to see you. I just got here. Well, good to see you. Ist halt früh dran. Ich muss auch heute früh aufhören, deswegen. I wonder who this is. This guy has 5 wins. Like, his spacing and decision on the ground, actually, even though they're quite YOLO, are pretty high level. But then he does that. He's pretty crazy, you know, but this playstyle actually should give him pretty good results overall. So I actually think there's a possibility. Is this a Smurf? Nah, that was actually insane. That's okay. Yeah, no, never mind. Like, the more I play it, the more I see why he's in 1600 MR. But seriously, he's utilizing a lot of high-level stuff. Like, I'm not joking when I'm saying that. Like, his decision-making on offense, it's wild for sure, but I think he has above-average knowledge on how to apply pressure. Not how to defend, but how to apply pressure. That's for sure. Can't have a Jimmy stream without talking about the small blue people. They're my favorite people, you know? Okay. How to apply pressure just exist. I know people like to trash talk Ryu players, you know, but at the end of the day, no, you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna pick a strong character and footsies and how to whiff punish and offensive strategies are gonna just not matter anymore. Like, that's not how it works. And honestly, I think it's like really, really silly to try to argue that you can just do whatever you want with a strong character and win. That's not how it works. Even with Mai, I mean, now they nerfed her a little bit, a slap on the wrist, you know? But even before December, if you were a shitty Mai player, no amount of broken, like, possibilities for Mai was going to save you. Do you really think that some random like guy who's stuck at 1600 MR is going to be winning Capcom Cup because he's going to be choosing Mai?
Who's the GOAT of SF all time?
Who's the GOAT of Street Fighter all time? I mean, this is like, I mean, for a lot of people it would be Daigo, right? I mean, me as a Ryu player, I'm pretty biased on that, but yeah, I would have to say Daigo. But honorable mentions for me, personal favorite GOATs in the community, like Daigo, Punk, and Snake Eyes. I like those three in particular. Snake Eyes, obviously, for his Street Fighter 4 stuff back then. Nowadays, not really looking much at him anymore. But I think Street Fighter 4 Snake Eyes was very inspirational. Punk, with his very, very dominant gameplay in with Karen in Street Fighter 5, really solidified himself there. And at the moment, I honestly feel like we have, like, for me personally, Blas is like getting close to this kind of legend status. I guess Mena RD, honestly, when it comes to accomplishments within the community, especially recent accomplishments, I don't think anybody even comes close to Mena. But Blas might actually get there. Lashar, there's so many people, right? Lashar, it's hard to not mention Lashar. You're right. Okay. But there are many, many great players, you know. But yeah, Somchai Jod, thank you so much for the THB 100. What is THB 100? Like, what even is that? No one said taquito. It's hard. Yeah, I was thinking taquito, but then I was like, okay, does taquito even count? It's hard to say, honestly. Uh-oh, Test Terry. I'm gonna shit my pants here. He reacts to the drive rush with a jump in because he's expecting a... Unbelievable. What a stray hit conversion. I don't think I've beaten Test Terry in a single set with his Viper so far. What do we even do? What do I do here? Oh my god. Not dead. I should have done something different. Oh, this is so brutal. God. Another day, another 0-2 loss to Test Terry. Jesus Christ.
Here comes a new challenger.
Yo, Gown the Great, what's up? It's like Russia where I live right now, man. Just snow on top of snow, on top of snow. It'd be like that sometimes. Okay, fair enough. He's showing me how it's done. Okay, that was hilarious. Okay. Oh, wow. The balls to do that. You're letting him do triple DI and get away with it? Yeah, because I literally didn't have an option. I had to get hit on purpose in order to not get stunned. And the third one that he did, there was no escape. So what did you want me to do? Man, the buttons of God are disgusting. The X-Unspect, yeah, he was okay, watch and learn, right? Oh man, okay, that shit hurts. God. Oh great, there's a second hit. No, no. No, I could have burned him out. I could have burned him out. I didn't figure out the right combo to do that. What did I need to do there when I decided last second, hey, burnout is actually great? Maybe medium Hasho? I needed to do a different combo there. Exactly, I wanted to go for the burnout CA at the end, so I naturally went for a medium donkey kick, but I was not close enough for that combo into level 3, so I didn't do it at the end. I needed to convert completely differently. Hasha would have worked, yeah. Dream Blitzer, good to see you. Put Garuda in 6, what's up? Good to see you. James, good to see you on YouTube as well. Blackwing, how's it going? Tiger, 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 Yoga, Yoga.
Put underscore Jimmy underscore and underscore Capcom underscore Cup Serious Sloth.
Put Jimmy in Capcom Cup Series slot. Maybe someday again, you know? Thank you so much for the 71 months. Hope you're doing great, my man. Blackwing, I did read your message. Sometimes I'm kind of slow with the messages, but I try to read all the messages and I try to respond. So, yeah. Your messages are read. Time for me to log on and grind. I'll be lurking. Yeah, Ross780. I'll see you around, my man. Good luck on the grind. Oh wow, that just goes through? One frame too late on that DI. Ah! Played this one like shit at the end. That anti-air was crucial. That would have been the round, honestly. And T-Chang. You know what I hate? When I move around a lot, back and forth, then I try to anti-air with back fierce and get a heavy Hasho. And I just wasted a Denjin Hasho as well. T-Chang, always difficult to beat this guy. The Blast special. There we go.
Round 2. Fight.
La 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 la.
Ryu wins.
Beautiful singing, Jimmy. Thank you. I did sing in a choir back when I was in school. T-Chang. Lately, I've not been playing T-Chang a lot. There used to be a time when I almost daily played him, right? You're surprised I didn't play the cheater yet? Probably because my win rate at the moment is too low. I'm not even kidding. Crown. Acquire for cats. What do you mean for cats? No, like a real choir, like we used to go around and used to sing in all kinds of places, you know. One time we were in Paris in a church. Actually, it's been a long time. I barely remember that time. But it was fun. Yeah. The matchmaking is definitely affected by your win rate, okay? 100%. This is why if you meet like a Smurf, if I meet somebody at low MR range, there's a high probability it's actually a Smurf. Really? You're gonna jab after that?
Round 2. Fight.
Big T. We're gonna be beating big tits, okay? He did. Hallo. Moment, ich komme gleich, ja? Oh man. Crouching hard punch is not a good answer to teleport. Often back fierce is better. In some cases neither one works, so you have to actually do a jumping light kick, for example. Axe kick is the most effective but requires specific spacing. I've played, like, I haven't really played Tekken 8, no. Not really. Guys, I gotta help my son, like, a little bit setting up, Mario Brothers 2 real quick, and then I'll be back, okay? Be right back. Enjoy some stream highlights. Oh, what? Why am I not killing him? Oh, 200 IQ play! Doesn't matter if you get the stun here. What? Oh boy. This is gonna be extremely difficult to do. You can go for the full thing, by the way. Okay, that was 4. No! 7. I got 7 again. Ah, God. No! I swear to God, number 8 is faster than the rest. Maybe I'm going crazy, but I feel like the number 8 is faster than the rest. Oh! Oh my God, I got the full thing. And I told you guys, hit number 8 trolls you because it's actually way faster than the rest. Holy shit. This is difficult, Jesus. How long did that take me? That took me like, what, 2 hours to get once? He actually clipped me there. Ah! There we go. Okay, do I have any good colors, Nick, for costume 2? I mean, I have the McDonald's outfit if you want to. Is that what you want? Oh, I forgot to, give me a second. I'll grab something to drink. I forgot to bring something. Okay. Agree what is. Okay. Sure. I want the Taco Bell color. What would be the Taco Bell color? Regional McShoryou. Brown. Okay. Purple and brown. Purple and yellow. Isn't that the Lakers color?
A new warrior has entered the ring!
Gunslinger, let's go.
Round 1. Fight! Round 2. Fight!
That's definitely not what he wanted to do. Ah, okay, fair enough. There we go. Try to be greedy, and I really understand it, but it was not the right call.
Round 1. Round 2. Fight.
Okay. Alright, I'm probably dead. Definitely dead.
Rashid win.
Let's go, Rashid of the turbulent lag. You needed to use a code until the end of December. You needed to do that. It's not available anymore. Give me a second. I thought I heard my son. What's that? Ja, wieder hoch. A boy meeting Birdo for the first time in Mario Brothers 2 and doesn't know how to beat him. Big problem. I'm really mad as well because I just missed Ryu's Red Master rank skin. Ryu's red. It's like almost the same color as like the like color 1. I think it's almost certain you're gonna get a chance to get those colors back at some point, Gallon. Ich kann jetzt nicht, Leone. Du musst Pause machen, komm. Was? Wo raus? Ich guck's mir gleich an. Ah. Ja, okay, ich guck's mir gleich an. Eine Sekunde, okay? Ich muss dieses Set jetzt spielen, ich kann jetzt nicht einfach aufhören. Ich weiß nicht genau, wo das speichert, aber ich gucke mal.
one. Fight.
I should really...
Round 2. Fight.
Such a tough spot to be in. So ready for that DI. My English is sehr gut. Hopefully one day my Deutsch can be as good as your English. Yeah. We'll see about that. Galen, keep it up. Keep it up. And thank you. Thank you. I mean, in my opinion, it's so much easier to learn English as a as a German, simply because, like, out of necessity, you know, you kind of have to learn English if you really want to communicate with the outside world. But the other way around is not that easy, because, like, you need to find, or you need to have a good reason to speak German, right? So humans learn languages out of necessity, which is why, like, all of the European countries, the Nordic countries, for example, they especially, I think, they speak, or let's say, the more presence your native language has in the world, the less likely it's going to be you're going to be acquiring a secondary language in your life. And you can see that with, I mean, with Chinese, with English, right? And people say, like, oh, American people are lazy, they can't speak a second language. It's not true. It's because it's just not necessary. That's why. You think Europeans are any different? Like, take a look at France, for example. English adoption in France is much lower, considerably lower than English adoption in Germany. And those are neighboring countries with
Here comes a new challenger.
With a lot of similarities, let's say. I got a nasty cut on my finger right as I started messing around with Ryu. Would you say that's a sign from God? Probably, yeah. They're supposed to wait for the nerfs in March. I'm surprised he was able to do that. This guy actually has an interesting playstyle. Wake up forward jump. Who does that? Like, who does that? How's this guy a 1600 MR player?
Marisa wins! Round one. Fight!
That's not a 1600 MR player. Dude might just be climbing. What does that mean? Like, I frequently get this kind of comment where like somebody's like, okay, like, Jimmy, have you considered that your opponent just recently got randomly good at the game? I'm like, what do you, like, what are you trying to tell me? That he was trash and just today he woke up like, oh, today I'm gonna be a different person. That's not how getting good actually works. Means he started to play recently since the MR reset. Okay, but then I would have recognized the name, wouldn't I?
Marisa wins!
This is not 1600 MR. He has about a 50-50 split. Maybe you're right. Maybe he just started. Actually, let me check. Ah, I can't check. Who will win Capcom Cup? Blaz. My pick is Blaz. Let's check. What's his normal MR range? This guy is stuck in 1600 MR. I'm genuinely losing my mind over that. Now, like, check this. His highest MR ever was 1675. Okay, he's never been higher than that. And last season he ended the season in 1620 MR. Okay? And in this season he's already at 1650. How's that possible? Sweet. What's going on? Did you like wake up today and be like, okay, today I'm gonna be godlike? What's going on? Unbelievable. GG's.
Another fight is coming your way.
Actually, like at the start of the season, Crown, what you get a lot is players who normally don't play a lot of ranked. So they play a little bit of ranked at the reset and then they stop again. So I don't actually meet them much. Ryu Slapper at 6 wins in a row. That's excuses. That's okay. Oh, I didn't have level 3. Oh, my bad. Let's see if you can kill. How am I getting this unlucky? I wake up with a light kick and he happens to whiff punish it like that with a hard kick. Scripts. Ethan, no. Playing someone like Exuses just doesn't mean that you're playing in scripts, because you realize that he always does this shit. So sometimes he hard loses because of it. GG's, Exuses. God. We should play it first to 10 in like a couple of weeks.
Jimmy sub.
My man, Enraged, thank you so much for the continuous support. Hope you're doing great. The good thing is Exuse's playstyle is very unique. So that means you cannot... Like, I'll know it's him immediately, you know? Sure me. Yep, that is the normal Ryu gameplay, all right. He beat my script. Okay. Look, we have another like really normal 1600 MR Ryu play on modern. Totally normal. Guys, nothing to see here. Surely this guy just started the ranked phase. Any advice against Bison? Bison is the type of character that you really need to get a feeling for how the opponent likes to play. Are you playing against someone who loves to use or overuse Devil's Reverse? Well, you got to figure out what his habits are and do like empty jump punishes. And with empty jump punishes, I mean air-to-air punishes and stuff like that. But it really depends. Often you can get the Bison players to whiff a forward hard punch. So keeping your distance, being aware of the punishes, and in my opinion, Bison especially, you need to know what your opponent's habits are. That's okay. Offense is extremely easy in this game. What do you mean by that? Offense isn't easy. Like, if you get the opponent to not cover DI 10 times in a row, it doesn't mean that offense is easy. It means that players in general are really terrible at defending themselves. It does not mean that offense is easy. I really disagree with that. You can find low-level players And what they will do is they will genuinely throw out Platinum League, great example. Just throw out DI and everything like out of the blue every second. Okay? And guess what? That happens to work in Platinum League because players don't have great offense, they have really shitty defense. That's the problem. So even the most obvious offensive move that you do will work because people are terrible defending. So offense isn't easy at all. On high level, especially not. On high level, if you do a drive rush to get in, you get punished for that. If you do a DI, well, good luck trying to get that against Lishar or Mena RD. You know, like, offense isn't as brain dead as some people try to make it out. It requires, and this is the thing that people have an issue with. Sometimes, especially drive rush, for example, requires that you have a read on whether the opponent is going to defend against it or not. So you can turn it into a mix-up, right? You can turn that into a mix-up. But even then, even if you turn it into a mix-up, you still have to do that kind of work. Okay, like you need to figure out, okay, what are my opponent's habits, and is he going to cover the next drivers that I'm going to be doing, and what should I do about that? It still requires an active thought, and you can't just YOLO everything and expect it to work. No matter what Street Fighter game we're playing, we always have the same argument, okay? And this is something I really, really hate and disagree with a lot. There is no Street Fighter game that you can magically turn on and then you're gonna win Capcom Cup because of that, okay? Oh, this game is so easy, anyone can win Capcom Cup. Well, yeah, why don't you do that then? Like, seriously, the argument, even if you just just even at a glance, it's obviously wrong. Even at a glance, it's obviously wrong. Because, okay, if it's that easy, why isn't everyone winning? Everyone should be winning. It should be a mystery who's going to be winning Capcom Cup next time around, and yet it's always the same guys qualifying and playing there. And they're like, you know, this is not real Street Fighter. In the next Street Fighter, we're going to be playing real Street Fighter, and then I'm going to be winning. Yeah, sure. You suck at the game because it's not a real Street Fighter? Really? And you've been saying that for how many generations now? The cool thing about Street Fighter, and no matter how you design your gameplay mechanics, is you still have to compete against other humans in the same environment. And this is the thing that people completely forget about. In order to win against, like, in order to win Capcom Cup, you actually have to beat other players who are grinding and optimizing and playing on the highest level possible that requires thousands of hours of playtime and investment. And you're telling me, well, the game is easy, all you gotta do is drive rush and DI. Well, then good luck winning Capcom Cup with that knowledge. It's silly. It's so silly. Well, you think a lot of players are Smurfs? Well, I think a lot of players are Smurfs because a lot of players are Smurfs. That's why. The Smurf rate in this game is very high, and it's a consequence of the MR system. Is that smart? That was a Wendy moment right there. Random, good to see you, my man. You gotta be kidding me. What jump? What a jump. That's fine. The wake up back throw. Okay, I should have known. Honestly, that was, if there was ever a Wendy moment, was there.
Rashid win. Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight.
Oh no. Where's my level 3? I fucked it up twice. Man, I messed it up twice. Every Street Fighter is slightly different from others. There is no real Street Fighter. Well, obviously, yeah. Honestly, and the funny, you know what the funny part about this is? It's always the same players. It's always the same players. The classic archetype, by the way, of a player who talks like that is someone who reached like somewhere between like intermediate and high level. And then they're like, okay, this is the next Street Fighter. The next generation started. And now I'm going to become godlike because I'm going to be grinding from the very start. So there's no way others are going to be better than me, right? Then they realize they get stuck in the exact same skill level as before. And they also realize that the game is not the exact same as before. So they actually have to adapt and play differently. And then the excuses start rolling in, you know? The excuses start rolling in. Oh, this isn't real Street Fighter. Oh, back in my days, we used to play real footage. You know, stuff like that comes up all the time. But I kind of wished, you know what, I kind of wish that, like, this is not even a problem. This is obvious behavior. For any game that you play, you're gonna have people like that. And honestly, the community kind of lives off of people like that. We have a wide variety of skill levels and a wide variety of opinions as a result on top of that. What I'm bothered about is that we don't even have players complaining about the right things. You know, when there's a new Street Fighter game that comes out, people get stuck in... Yeah, mach mal. Players get stuck in this narrative of like things they supposedly hate or think could be better, and they don't even focus on the real things. Was denn? Kann sein, ja. Vielleicht kann man den leichter steuern oder so. Ich weiß es aber nicht. Oder einfach nur, weil er kleiner ist. I'm talking to my son, by the way. Don't get confused here. But anyways, I kind of wish, like, when Street Fighter 5 came along, people needed to be like, okay, 8 frames of input lag, not great, you know? Totally a problem, we should fix that. But then when people talked about the gameplay and what needed to be changed, I was shocked at the things that people thought was like the breaking point for Street Fighter. People started talking about things that used to be a problem in all of the Street Fighter games. Like, for example, how it can get steamrolled and stuff like that. That used to exist in Street Fighter 4 as well. And I was like, guys, that's not, like, if we complain to Capcom and we're not great at actually identifying problems, then why would Capcom even bother listening to us? Like, throw loops, just as an example, throw loops, okay? I remember we had this discussion back in Street Fighter 4 as well, Street Fighter 5 as well. Until this day, in my opinion, it's a silly discussion on a specific level. I actually had great conversations about throw loops in Street Fighter and why they're not optimal, especially from a casual perspective, because the casuals happen to struggle against throws. So if you see high-level players get throw looped to death, casuals are going to be like, oh wow, look at me, Daigo has the same problem as I do. It's because throws are just broken. They're just too strong. And I think that's really, really like a dangerous area, because what the casual doesn't see is, oh, like, you could just LaTeX there every time and you get out of the scenario every time. But throws are so non-threatening that you'd rather take 10 throws than to take one shimmy. And that's obviously like a part of the mind game that a casual will not see. And I think that's where we can have a discussion about, okay, throw loops should be changed and stuff like that, specifically because it hinders the understanding of casuals when they watch high-level play. Was willst du? Du bist Prinzessin Peach? Okay. Macht Spaß. Hast du rausgefunden, wie man schwebt? Okay. Okay. My son is playing Super Mario Brothers 2, and it's one of his first times playing that. He just finished Super Mario Brothers 1 on the NES, and now he's playing 2. The Japanese Mario 2. What's the difference? More glitches?
Ryu wins.
Oh, it's a different game? Well, then no. I guess the European one? Let me think. Maybe I put in the US version just because it actually runs faster. It's kind of silly. In the European market, then like NES and Super NES games used to run slower because of 50 and 60 hertz differences. Nowadays, thankfully, this isn't the case anymore. Yeah, that was a PAL NTSC thing. And it's actually kind of sad because if... Okay, Moment, warte kurz, Leo. Ja, ich speichere, Moment. Sehr gut. Give me a second. Show us the baby. Well, the baby isn't that small, little anymore. He's 6 years old at this point. The requirement to hit the guess situation are simply easier in this game. Pro players acknowledge this all the time. And that is true. That is true. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter like how easy is it to create a guessing scenario, because just because you're creating a guessing scenario does not mean your chances to win get higher, but you can create chaos out of it. At the end of the day, Mitch. Was ist? Ja, du musst dann schnell nach vorne gehen, das stimmt. Ist halt so. At the end of the day, what matters at the end of the day is how many decisions are you making per round. And in Street Fighter 6, I think you'd have to argue, like, how would you argue that in Street Fighter 6 you make less decisions per round compared to other Street Fighter games? I don't think that's true at all. And the more decisions you have to make, the more the situations you'll encounter where you can outplay your opponent. I agree that Drive Rush, for example, there should be better rules for that, especially regarding the glitches that it causes, like not being able to input stuff. And in general, I do agree that like altering your momentum through donkey kick, for example, stuff like that is inherently problematic if you want to have a skill-based game. But at the end of the day, even with those limitations, pro players have found very good ways in order to maximize the skill. We have really high skill ceiling for this game. If you want to win Capcom Cup, or if you want to be like a special kind of player, you absolutely can. Because like if you imply, well, in this game it's just easier to win or easier to apply pressure, you're implying that there's less skill involved when you're winning. But yet we have players who absolutely stand out from the rest of the player base, like Blaz, for example. Just as an example, Blaz. So if the game didn't allow for that because the skill ceiling was simply not high enough, wouldn't we we would see a completely different environment in competitive play. The bad defense take, honestly, is this isn't some something that I pulled out of nowhere. VOD God, this is always true in every Street Fighter game. This has been true. Offense is easier to learn than defense, which is why players, when they start playing fighting games, they concentrate on combos, for example. Why? Because if they get a hit on the opponent, they want to maximize the damage output, right? And it's a very efficient way to learn the game. The problem is, because you're focused on stuff like that, you're not good at all on defense. So Street Fighter 6, since this obviously stays true, was denn? Du schaffst das schon, Leo. I definitely think in Street Fighter 4 you would make more decisions per round, since there's more fireball game, longer rounds, less damage per hit on average. Well, in Street Fighter 4, the biggest problem in Street Fighter 4 was the knockdown game. The knockdown game actually led to a guessing scenario by default every single time you landed it. If you landed a throw or a sweep in Street Fighter 4, there are characters who had unblockables. There are characters that were able to do very crazy shenanigans. Like if you're a Gen player, let's say, okay, you open up the opponent once and then you can basically force, like you can win many rounds simply by doing like your vortex scenario thing 3 times and you win the round. Is that like a lot of like at that point your opponent had a knockdown and then you guessed wrong 3 times and you died for it, you know? Is that really like, is that the high level gameplay that we're talking about in Street Fighter 4? There are characters, a lot of characters. Ibuki, probably the worst defender out of all of them, you know, gives you a knockdown and then does a jump forward kunai mix up in the air and then you're dead. So no, I really don't think that was a lot different back then. We had a ton of shenanigans like that. And in Street Fighter 5, by the way, we had a solution to that problem. Street Fighter 5 introduced the no hard knockdown rule effectively. If you wanted to have a hard knockdown, you needed to get a crush counter, right? And that was the only way to get a hard knockdown pretty much. So setups were a lot more difficult to get. Feeling under the weather, Jimmy? Not really, but I'm not playing at the moment a lot. What? Okay, I'm back. I don't think anyone can just pick this up and win Capcom Cup, but the game's skill ceiling is clearly lower than past titles. But how do you see that? How would you say that the skill ceiling is lower? How would you measure that? Like, people just say that, but like, what is your measurement for that? And I think like the number one thing that people claim would be, well, back then the top players were more consistent, but even then, like, you could, like, you cannot compare the situation, especially not with Third Strike. You like, if you compare like a game that was sold 5 million times versus a game that was sold 100,000 times, well, yeah, if you only have 8 players, you'll always get the same top 8 at every major event, you know. Street Fighter 6 is a lot more competitive, and this is the main argument that I think favors modern Street Fighter titles. The more players you have, the more difficult it becomes to actually win a tournament, because the likelihood of the top 5 guys being absolutely insane in how they're optimizing, how they're playing, their routine in order to actually acquire that skill is going to be out of that world. And I don't think, honestly, I don't think you can compare that to the back in the days when we were in the third strike era, where almost nobody played the game, and in order to learn the game you actually had to go to an arcade nearby. You had to be lucky to have strong players in your region. The internet wasn't really there back then. I think the situations are completely different nowadays, and I think people highly overestimate how good players actually were back then. I'm like, honestly, I'm confident when I say that back then people were simply worse than they are today, because you didn't need to be as good as you are today in order to win tournaments, because accessibility of information, just forget about like what type of game we're playing. Okay, imagine the same game today versus the same game back then. There's no way you were on the same skill level as you are today when you compare what exists in order, like the accessibility in order to gain information is a massive difference. I think people completely overestimate the depth of games, because the main depth that comes with any fighting game is actually from the humans themselves. I mean, you can boil down a fighting game to just 2 buttons. Like, play dive kick. Seriously, guys, play dive kick, okay? Watch a dive kick tournament from back in the days. The game literally has 2 buttons. You can only press 2 buttons. You have a jump button and a dive kick button. And we had tournaments and skill hierarchies for top players in that game, okay? Like, please don't tell me that Street Fighter 6 doesn't have enough depth compared to back in the days. Because even if you boil down a fighting game to 2 buttons, people will figure out how to get good at that shit. Yeah, but what is the skill required to master the game, Mitch? What is the skill that is required to master the game? Back in the day, accessibility was a big problem. So people simply didn't have the resources to get good at the games, but it didn't matter because they still won the tournament, even when they weren't perfect. Nowadays, you have a much higher competition from the player base, information density. So if you want to stand out, you actually have to be a god. I personally believe the execution barrier is a factor that Capcom should reintroduce in specific ways. I definitely agree with that. But at the same time, I don't agree with the idea that the execution barrier is like by every metric in addition. It actually has a lot of problems as well. And I mean, we had Sako, for example, who's known for his amazing execution in Street Fighter 4, literally lose tournaments because he dropped a one frame link and he got punished and died, you know? It introduces inconsistency to your gameplay. And it's seriously a problem. In Street Fighter 4, it was a problem. Daigo talked about this at some point as well, where he said that, well, in order to win the tournaments, you have to be optimal. So you have to go for the one frame links. But if you do that and you drop, then you lose the tournament, okay? So it was kind of brutal because it actually introduced inconsistency. And inconsistency is the exact opposite of skill. Okay? That's a real problem when you tighten the execution barrier too much. So it's not just, oh yeah, let's make every input difficult. It doesn't just introduce skill. I honestly believe Street Fighter 6 has a great balance between difficult stuff. Like, you can still do difficult micro walk combos, for example. If you want to have one frame links, you can do that with micro walks, you know? There are still combo possibilities, but what I find even more interesting, in Street Fighter 6, we've never had a system where it was more difficult to figure out what the optimal route is. Simply because of how many routes that you can take in Street Fighter 6. We've never had that many routes before. So being optimal in a competitive environment and at a tournament is actually not easy at all. That was the biggest problem for Street Fighter 5, by the way. Street Fighter 5 really suffered from variance, and people they all did the same combos. They all did the same combos, and that was a major problem in that game. Wow, the delay on that.
Receive, win. Round one. Fight.
Wait, my hitbox command is wrong? Oh, I gotta change the hitbox command. Actually, I know why. It's not. It's because it's not the main command. That's okay. I almost had it. Full screen jabs. See, this is the kind of stuff that I'm like, okay, that could probably be changed or should be changed. Like, why does the jab have that much range? Now you're lying. Let me see. Mitch Bison. If 6 is so much easier, how come almost every top 8 are the same players? I mean, we do have like an interesting hierarchy when it comes to like the top players. There are people who are very consistent even in this very top level environment. You know, like noteworthy players would be Xiaohai, Blaz, Lashar, Mena RD, like players like these, you know, that we consider like the highest level Street Fighter. They play the highest level, and there are players who we could argue are slightly below that. But the only problem that we nowadays really have is we have so many great players because the game is so much more popular than it used to be in the Street Fighter 4 and especially Street Fighter 3 era, that top 8s are not as consistent anymore. We simply have too many very strong players, and it's not because of the lack of difficulty to learn. There are plenty of players who still like what does that even say? By the way, what does that even say about top players? Like, we used to have Street Fighter 3 players and 4 players we would consider gods, right? If the game is that easy, then how come the gods from previous generations aren't even able, or some of them aren't able to outperform other players? I mean, shouldn't it be even more easy for them to stand at, like, to win, or at least to be considered on the same level as others? Like what's up with that? One time young Mateen beat Angry Bird and people called the game scrubby and easy. Then we never saw young Mateen again. Meanwhile, Angry Bird is consistent in top 8s. But we've never measured games based on stuff like that. I mean, most famous example in Street Fighter 4 would be Gandhi versus... oh my god, what's his name? FSP. Fairly Sad Panda, right? It's the most famous example of an actual beginner beating a competent player at a tournament for everybody to see. I can look, guys, like, this was the #1 example for me to use in Street Fighter 5 when people were like, well, if you're a random nobody, you can beat like strong players at a tournament because the game is so easy. Like, okay, like, just like in Street Fighter 4. Like, what are you talking about? Like, upsets always happen, by the way. Upsets have always existed. This is not new at all. Like, but the question is always, how consistent are the top players at their thing? And the answer is they are really consistent. Like, there's no doubt that, like, there are favorites to win Capcom Cup and there are others. Even if you are at Capcom Cup, you can be like an underdog to win. And why? Well, because there's a skill difference, obviously. And by the way, like, the Street Fighter 4 upset, that has not occurred yet, at least in Street Fighter 5 or 6, okay? A crazy upset like that, by the way, was only going to happen in a game where the difference between online and offline play was so crazy that you could legit go at a tournament and not be able to like get any of your difficult combos that you practiced, and then you could get shit on by a player who's just mashing DP like a madman. You know, we will probably never have that situation again, simply because the online environment is so much better. Wait a minute, young Mateen is actually the guy who beat Angry Bird in chat right now? Wait, what? Wait, now I want to know more. I need to know more. Wait, did we just summon you here, or were you the one bringing it up? Let me see. How the hell is that happening now? Let me see though, Mitch. Inconsistency in that sense, but the players with the highest execution consistency became clear, and those players were at the top, and it was hard to get to the top 0.1% because of the execution. It was hard to get to the top 1% because of execution. Now, everybody could do one-frame links. It's just that at the top level, there was a decision to be made whether you want to go for them or not, and in how many situations should you be going for them. It was not a matter of, oh, this top player was really great at one-frame links. When did we ever have that discussion? Honestly, it was just a given that all the top players were able to execute one-frame links, and none of them were consistent, by the way. I think one-frame links would be somewhat okay. And when I say consistent, by the way, what I mean is they would all drop at important events and important timelines, you know? I think one-frame links would be somewhat okay. Alpheon, good to see you, by the way. Hi! Was machst du denn hier?
Fernsehen.
Fernsehen?
Ja.
Mit wem Fernsehen?
Lionel und Kaya.
Lionel und Kaya jetzt Fernsehen?
Ja.
Okay. Sag mal hallo.
Hallo. Papa, die Hälfte.
Hast du Paw Patrol?
Ja.
Zeig mal. Oh, wie schön.
Darf ich dein Wasser?
Willst du mein Wasser trinken?
Ja.
Okay, darfst du. Ja. Hier. Ich darf mal hallo sagen. Sieht ganz so schön aus.
Hallo. Hallo. Hallo.
Komm schon mal ins Bild. Komm mal ins Bild. Ah, guys, I wanted to do wife reveal, but she's shy. I think one frame links would be somewhat okay in 6 because of the superior netcode compared to 4. It would definitely be, for online stuff, way more consistent. That's for sure, Alphion. She looks so much like you, your daughter. Yeah, thank you. I'm not actually sure. Does she look like me? She's a Paw Patrol fan. She and my sis can have a little play date. IT goat for sure. She doesn't. Honestly, with my daughter, it's hard to say. With my son, it's somewhat obvious, but then again, even then, I have discussions with people about that. So, they're a good mix of mom and dad, you know. Was denn? I actually have to go pretty soon, unfortunately. I'd love to have more of a discussion about that. I was summoned. I just felt a little disrespected using my win against him as an example. When you're not gonna see me in top 8 if I'm not traveling. I'm gonna start traveling again this year. Young man, honestly, you really don't have to prove, or at least to me, you don't have to prove anything, you know? If you're able at a tournament to beat Angry Bird, obviously you achieved a skill level that is extremely respectful, you know? And I agree. I think it's extremely disrespectful to be like, oh yeah, that's just because the game is random. No, that's not just because the game is random. I really think like people underestimate how many decisions do you have to make, even in a best of 3 set, how many decisions do you have to make in order to win, you know? People like look at one scenario, oh look at that, he did something random and it worked. Well, you can do that with every game ever released and be like, oh, you know what? If he had done a super on wake up right there, he would have won. Okay, that's not how you look at a game. As a melee player, the game is nowhere near as popular as Street Fighter 6. I feel you on that. I actually happen to be a melee player myself. You love the YouTube content? Ah, thank you so much, young man. Jimmy is still sick? I'm always sick. That's my secret. I'm always sick. Soll ich Leveless holen oder auf Stick bleiben? Ist schwer zu sagen. Du wirst auf jeden Fall eine lange Umgewöhnungsphase haben, ne? Also bei mir hat es bestimmt ein Jahr gedauert, bis ich mich da wirklich wohlgefühlt habe. Ich habe es aber nicht bereut. Ist aber schwer zu sagen. Wie gesagt, also dauert schon. Also 95% wirst du, deine Execution, wirst du, glaube ich, im ersten Monat lernen. Aber die letzten 5%, die ziehen sich brutal, ja. Der Stick hat mir aber auch Spaß gemacht. Also würde ich jetzt nicht unbedingt als großen Vorteil ansehen von Leveless. Vor allen Dingen der Controller geht mir nicht mehr so schnell kaputt. Der Stick ging mir bestimmt einmal im Jahr kaputt. Oh Banjo, oh Banjo.
Jamie wins! Round 1. Fight!
Oh boy. You know, like, if we compare randomness in Street Fighter 6 to previous Street Fighter games, then, you know, this is like the El Fuerte of Street Fighter 6. You know? Like, kind of a shitty character, but nobody actually enjoys playing him because you know every single round is going to be a wild ride. You know nothing is consistent when this guy is around.
Jamie wins!
It's not like people are finding new combos and setups in 6. People are not finding new combos and setups in 6. That is not true at all. The amount of stuff that we see on a day-to-day basis is 1000% way higher than anything that we previously had in Street Fighter. And once again, that's not because the game has more depth. I mean, Drive Rush enables a lot of combo exploration that we didn't have, but I think the main factor is actually the game is just much bigger than previously. So people figure out and popularize new stuff all the time. What do you mean? Oh, the game is basically the same. It's not. It's really not. I think the biggest criticism that you can have regarding Street Fighter 6 is that mechanically the game stayed the same without any major change for the longest time in any of the more modern Street Fighter games. You know, Street Fighter 4 and 5 had big changes happening within 1 to 2 years. And we are 2.5 years in, and the game is still mechanically the same. Not much has changed, but people like post new stuff all the time. And even if you argue, well, nowadays less stuff is being posted than in previous years, well, yeah, it's because the rate at at which things are getting discovered is 10 times higher as previous. So can you even compare that? Mitch Bison, I can tell you one thing. When I watch Blas play at every single tournament, when I watch Blas play and he's picking Ryu, I learn something new pretty much every single time I watch a tournament with Blas. Okay? Maybe other characters are different, but I think it's established that Ryu is a pretty simple character. So if I find new information and new things that I should explore myself watching Blas, then I have a suspicion that I'll like for other characters this is true as well. And no, it's not just flashy and pointless stuff. Like if you want to watch like Blas's like more recent stuff at Street Fighter League against Shanghai, for example, Blas showed that it's possible to to jab the fan on reaction against Mai and then do a forward hard kick punish as a punish counter. And as a variation, if the fan is being held and the jab whiffs and it doesn't actually collide with the fan, then he actually on reaction jumps in because he knows the opponent is charging the fan. I've never seen anyone do anything like that on that level and in a consistent fashion like that. Is that useless tech? Definitely not. But for most people, it's too difficult to execute that. You can do that. Blas can do that. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if I can do that. But Blas can do that. I really don't think that like you can easily argue that the game lacks any depth or skill or whatever. I honestly believe a lot of people are just salty that the game is not what they want it to be. And I really think you should be honest with yourself when you're like I think it would be a lot healthier to say, hey, I don't like Street Fighter 6 as much as previous Street Fighter titles, but I'm not going to try to argue that, oh, previous Street Fighter entries had so much more skill. I honestly believe that if people were reflecting on their own skill and the current skill and the things, it's so easy to find problems with games that we don't like, you know, or problems with games that we try to desperately have being worse than others, you know. If you have your favorite Street Fighter game, you're always gonna try to find some kind of reason why the current Street Fighter game is worse than your previous favorite one, you know, even if it doesn't even line up with reality. You can always find a reason, and the reason why you can always find a problem is because the scenario nowadays is so different in so many aspects that like you can always try to argue something that didn't exist before. Well, back then we had a consistent top 8 at every major. Nowadays we don't. It's because the game has no skill. Yeah, or maybe because we have like 100 to 1,000 times more top players than previously. Could be that, or maybe it's because it's no skill. Kind of crazy, right? If you have 100,000 copies sold versus 10 million copies sold, the consistency at top A is actually quite different. No, but this is the type of thing that I want to highlight, you know? You will always find problems in the current iteration of Street Fighter. You know what the funny part about this is? If any of the old Street Fighter games was re-released nowadays, everybody would hate it. Hands down, everybody would hate it. Imagine Street Fighter 4 with delayed base netcode. That would be Street Fighter 7. Do you think anybody would want that? They're genuinely asking. Do you think that if they re-release Street Fighter, like they are like, okay, we're going to do a new run on Street Fighter 4, and because people are so nostalgic, we're going to have everything exactly as it was on release day back then. Delayed base netcode, you know, unblockables, and we're gonna have supers that are on, like, do you guys remember, like, if a projectile and a super was activated on the same frame as the projectile collides, was actually unblockable? Stuff like that was really fun in vanilla Street Fighter 4. Yeah, let's re-release that and see how that's gonna go. Jimmy, we didn't play online back then. We played on a couch at locals. Yeah, you and your 2 friends did that, right? And that's it. They miss Street Fighter 4, the game. People don't miss the Street Fighter 4 netcode. Oh, so you're saying that Street Fighter 6 actually has better netcode? I mean, whenever I see like a complaint about, whenever I see complaints about Street Fighter 6, I always wonder, when Nintendo released Super Smash Bros. Brawl, their main intention with the game was to make it not competitively viable, right? They introduced tripping, like when you moved in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, there was a random chance that you would simply trip and you would fall down and you would be susceptible to attacks. Like, imagine like Capcom was like, you know what, Street Fighter 7, we're gonna make it like, we don't like the esports scene. The esports scene is actually very expensive. We're gonna make sure that 1% on dash. I don't even know what the rule was. Like, okay, 1% on that. Thank you. I don't remember the exact rules. The point is, imagine Street Fighter 7, Capcom would be like, hey, this game is specifically designed so that you cannot play it at a tournament, okay? And if you do play it at a tournament, we're gonna make sure that you don't have the streaming rights in order to show the tournaments, you know? What do you guys, like, what do you think would happen if that happened? Like, if we knew that Capcom was gonna sabotage on purpose and make the game not playable, like literally not playable at events, gameplay wise and streaming rights wise, well, we would simply stick to the old Street Fighter game, right? We would be like, okay, you don't like, you don't want us to play the new Street Fighter game at a tournament? Well, we're going to be playing the old Street Fighter game, because that game was designed with, or at least, even if it wasn't designed for competitive viability, it is great for competitive viability and a competitive, healthy scene. And it turns out that every single time there's a new Street Fighter game that comes around, people overall are still happy with the product. People overall, I think the biggest problem that we ever had was moving from Street Fighter 4 to 5, okay? That game had so many issues on release day, it was actually worth discussing sticking to Street Fighter 4. But at the very least, Capcom fixed a lot of problems. Like, Street Fighter 5 as a product became a lot better over the years. So that is something we actually gained back from Capcom. But I don't see that at all with Street Fighter 6. I don't see that at all with Street Fighter 6. Like, the game is selling well. I mean, I have my own problems with the game. Like, it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, Capcom, you're doing everything perfectly. No, Capcom is actually making many mistakes with Street Fighter 6. But overall, the gameplay, the netcode, the whole package, I don't think has ever been as good as Street Fighter 6. And the sales really showed that. It's really that simple. I've seen an uptick in remembering Street Fighter 5 more fondly, yes. I find it actually crazy. Like, the most controversial modern or more modern Street Fighter nowadays gets remembered fondly for what? For broken rollback netcode? For 8 frames of input lag? Like, even at the end, the input lag wasn't even... Okay, it was okay. It was okay. The input lag was okay. It wasn't perfect, but at least it was okay. But the game had a lot of problems. Street Fighter 5 had a lot of problems. And now you're going to be like, well, Street Fighter 6 is worse than that? Really? Like, Street Fighter 5 had a lot of problems. But yeah, I guess that's actually going to be it for today. Unfortunately, not a lot of time. As I said earlier, going to have to go. But yeah, I'll be back very soon, okay? AKA tomorrow. And in the meantime, I really hope you'll enjoy the Pro Player Sets channel. I'm preparing some new uploads there. Also, my standard YouTube channel obviously has my standard YouTube channel. There's going to be a funny upload if you want to see a funny Ken set. That goes live in, I think, 30 minutes from now. I said it. So definitely don't miss out on that. That's going to be a funny upload for sure. And with that being said, let me see who's streaming right now. What do you guys want to watch? Professional rage baiter Rozu, let's go. Let's host my favorite rage baiter. Let's go. I think there's always going to be room for discussions. At some point, I actually want to make a video. Maybe I should really work on that for YouTube. Make a video simply comparing the Street Fighter games, especially like 4, 5, and 6, because those are the games that I actually played, right? And lay out pros and cons for the game, so that people can maybe remember what the games were actually like. I would like to keep my opinion out of a video like that, or at the very least keep it to the very, very end. You know, but the focus should be, hey, like, objectively, what were the problems in that game, and what were like things that worked well in that era, you know? I think that would be an interesting video, just to compare what kind of discussions we used to have in the Street Fighter 4 era, what the games were lacking, what the games did well, just a comparison. And everybody, like, at the end of the day, I mean, comparisons like, hey, this game had 1 frame links, this game did not have 1 frame links, you know? It requires to put weight on certain problems, whether they become problematic or not is at the end of the day subjective, right? But I think it would be a good video, right? So maybe I should work on that. I'd watch it, sure. One thing I don't understand is why Capcom has used stocks and charges for movies since Street Fighter 5 and now 6. What do you mean by stocks and charges? Anyways, no, I actually have to go. Guys, enjoy Rozu, and I will be back tomorrow. Thanks a lot for the support. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.